Why don't you get started? Is this on? Can you guys hear me? Yeah,
Hear you. That's
I'll be talking all
Can you
right.
hear me? Yeah, we're on.
What we're going to do here, the format, can everybody hear? That's louder? Okay. The format is just to be conversation. It's going to be open. These questions to this folks. Chris has done a great job. He researched, he did everything. I sat here, had about 6 beers, I'm ready to roll. So, we're going to get started. And Essie's next to me, I'm going to start with him. Essie, really, what's it like to be together on campus today with kids, players you may not have seen in 40 years?
Really, it's unbelievable. You know, you just see some of these guys. I used to play every summer with Greg in the Urban Coalition, but then after a few years, I went over to Europe, and we was very seldom sorry after that. And until this year, as a matter of fact, I don't know if it was Thanksgiving or before that, we were, Jimmy and I were at my house, and we were watching the NIT game. So, you know, let's call up Hagen. And I said, hey, I might have Greg's number. So we called, we're all 4 of us are on the phone. We just take the phone, Jimmy took his phone, he had called Hagen. He had to like this here. And Hagen is going, and then all of a sudden, silence, he hung up. But it's just great to see these guys. You know, it's like, man, you wonder where they are, and all of a sudden they show up. Kind of miss Barry too, you know. And like I said at the game, you know, all these guys were intricate parts of the team. You know, even though you don't hear their names, they're all unsung heroes in what we did. So, you know, my hat's off to them.
You got, I don't know if this is on. It is. Okay. Coach, I'm going to direct this to you, but everybody's going to answer this. I was talking to Jimmy Owens earlier. He came back with a question. He said he never saw a team so focused and ready to go right away, right off the bat. I know that had a lot to do with Jimmy and Essie. But Coach, when did you know you had a team that could do what you did? When did it occur to you that that could happen?
After we beat Houston. I knew we were pretty good at that point in time. You know, actually though, we were good the year before. I mean, we really were, Jimmy and Essie were juniors, Bobby Brzezko was a senior with that group. Glenn was a sophomore, Greg was a sophomore. We ended the season down at Rutgers, who were undefeated that year. They went 32-0 or something. And we had them beat the whole game, all the way through to the end. And Jimmy made a great steal against Eddie Jordan or something. We really laying it in. Hagen made a steal. Hagen stole it. He had 3 points that game, but he stole the ball. But we took them right to the buzzer in this old gym that they had. So I knew we had a good team coming back, honestly. We had some experience. We had, you know, the 2 best forwards probably in the East. We had a good guard. I was going to say a great guard, but now I'll say a good guard. And so I thought, and Timmy Waterman came in, we had great expectations for him. He had played a little bit as a freshman. We thought he was going to be strong and physical in the middle. And we had some good role players. So I honestly thought coming into the year, we had a chance of being really good.
Jimmy and Essie, you know, based on what Jimmy said earlier, what were your guys thinking?
Well, I tell you what, you know, I think we woke up, we came back from Syracuse, and Coach had put us out of practice. And I thought at the time it happened, it was the worst thing that could have happened. But as I look back, I think it was the best thing that could happen, just because we had a sense of urgency. And when those guys walked out, and it was apropos for where we were at, because I thought we thought we were cocky, we were overconfident, and we thought it was gonna be easy road, but he got our attention. And sometimes, you know, you get a feel for a team, and, you know, when that happened, you know, we had all started to walk towards the locker room, and I grabbed Essie and I said, listen, we just, you know, he just opened our eyes. And I said, we're gonna go out and practice on our own. And Essie, I said, you make sure you take the big guys, I got the guards, because I got this guy right here. You know, we had a camaraderie right on campus. I mean, everybody knew that we were focused, we were serious. And, you know, I learned as I went along that, you know, I wasn't one of the guys that would hang out and think it was, you know, holly jolly to be on campus and have fun. And I came in to be a student athlete, and I felt that that's what I wanted to do. And I had Essie, and then I had Glenn right next to me. I had Greg right down the room, down the hall, and so we practiced, and we got really focused, and I think that got our attention. Now, I don't know, Coach, if you did it on purpose or you did it out of anger, which, you know, you get beat red. And you know, Kathy, where's Kathy? Can Kathy attest to that? Okay, but it was an absolute wake-up call. And to be honest, that kind of helped me get into coaching. But you know, I mean, we had. I tell you what, we had great guys. And the whole team, whether it was Danny, whether it was Timmy. Timmy would come into practice every single day. And he would look at me and he said, Jim, I'm going to outwork you today. I said, Timmy, there's no way. You know, especially being from Ohio. I wasn't going to let an Ohio guy. But no, we had, and then, you know, I mean, we had some talent too. I'm going to tell you what. We had some guys that could play. I mean, this guy, he was absolute, you know, I mean, he was fabulous at the point guard. I agree with you. Well, you owe me some money for saying that. And I think Coach said the right thing. I mean, we had Essie. Essie was, let me tell you, you know, Essie, I mean, even though he's my roommate, he was the baddest, in my opinion, I think he was one of the baddest power forwards that I've ever been around. And, you know, he was just so talented. I mean, high jump 6'8", and, you know, he just was so talented. And then Greg came on the scene behind, they were behind us, so we but we worked together and we got along, and Timmy and then Jimmy Lenz and Bruno and Mickey. I mean, we had just a chemistry that was just hard to beat. And when we went to New York, the only problem I had was, you know, once we went to New York and Greg and Essie were getting some play because they were scoring, you know, Glenn comes to me and says, Bo, we got to have a press conference on who's running this team. Who's the guy? And I said, Glenn, I said, listen, you're in my town. And I said, you know, he said, Bo, come to this room. We get Bob Davies, and we get a couple of media, and he says, we're going to have a press conference. And, you know, I mean, we're in New York City. And he said, we're going to have a press conference on the guards run the show. Now, Coach, I don't know if you knew that, but he was just like adamant about having his press conference. And then all of a sudden, he was out on 6th Avenue telling everybody, we're going to win. And I'm like, hey, you can't be telling that because you got some guys betting the game. And he's out there telling everybody yappy. But you know what? He was cocky, confident. And you know what? That helped us get over the hump. And then we had talent with Essie being a bad son of a gun, and Greg, and then Timmy, and then Nick, all our guys on the bench. I mean, everybody was one. And I think when we went to New York, we were just so daggone focused. And then the Rutgers game the year before, that was devastating. And we said, we ain't gonna let that happen again. Even though they went to the Final Four, and they had Phil Sellers, they had Mike Dabney, and Eddie Jordan, Hollis Coleman. But we had a shot to beat them on their home court. They were undefeated. But it was a magical experience. I'm telling you, every game was just absolutely phenomenal. And the team came together.
All right, let's get to the next question.
All right.
Say anything about the coach.
Jimmy's got it, Jimmy's got it.
All right, next question is gonna go for Mr. Hagan here. It's a curveball, folks, because as good as Lynn was, and as good as the starters were, they had to have a bench. And they had to have guys like Delmar, and they had to have Nicky. They went about 7 deep. I'll mention my friend Danny, because he won't get mentioned otherwise. But Jimmy Allen. So Glenn, talk about, you could have played 40 minutes, there's no question.
I did.
Well, how about the guys that had to come in off the bench when you were about to?
Well, Mr. Lenz, I talked to him and I told him that all the bench time and practice time he got, he was prepared after I left. Okay, right? Big Leonco probably was the best pure shooter next to Mr. Sanders on the team. Okay? All right? And Bruno was underrated. He was a great offensive player. All right? And then we had, and Delmar played his role. Okay? You know, we could always count on him. All right? If coach had to, we put Barry in. When everybody was tired and couldn't raise their hands and run, we put Barry in. We give Barry a shot. Barry played almost every game. Everybody's laughing. He might have played 2 or 3 minutes. Got no points, no rebounds. Guaranteed to get 3 fouls and put somebody on their butt. You know? But, all right, we had some good practice. We had some good practice. Okay, you know? I mean, they didn't have anybody in practice to guard me, but But now for the record, everybody, okay, right? Bonnie's always had a chance every night because they had the D-men. Okay, all right? And if, in all honesty, okay, right? We could go to anybody out the fight. Jim Byrne was a hell of a scorer in high school. He just couldn't get any shots on this team. Okay, all right? Now, I played with Francisco and Essie and Greg, right? Now, for the record, as I told, Essie took more shots than Greg. Okay? When you gave it to Essie, it was like giving it to the black hole. For real. I mean, that's how it's true, okay, right? Now, Greg got down, and Greg got down and beat everybody down court, so you had to pass to him. You had to pass. He was open. He was always open. Right? And then I was left with the scraps. But, granted, if anybody was having a bad night out those 3, you never have to worry about anybody else seeing the ball but me. That's how it's going to be. All right?
So you gotta get in on this, man.